All right, weekend twofer, toy time. So now we finally have reached the last Heisei Rider. It took a while. It took a long number of weeks to talk about him, and finally we're going to be able to close my Heisei Phase 2 collection with the 20th rider of the Heisei Era and the 10th rider of Phase 2, Kamen Rider Zi-O. So he is the 20th rider. He is the 2019 rider for the Heisei Phase 2 era. And honestly, this is the rider which I knew the least about. Um, when he came out, I didn't really get to watch. I barely watched an episode of him, and the reason why, because I kind of felt something odd because he does look like one of his aesthetic is very similar to that of another Kamen Rider, which is Kamen Rider Build. If you can see, if you can see both of their aesthetics, it's very similar in a sense that their helms have this one longer antenna and one shorter antenna. Though it's very similar, but they do have different concepts. Like Kamen Rider Build has the engineering or the mechanical concepts, while Zi-O basically is like more like time. So one thing I also found about Kamen Rider Zi-O is that he's a little bit simple, yet it's just he's solid, but it's something that I really wasn't really excited about. And honestly, when we got this, it's just basically me really trying to complete all of Phase 2. So let's open it up. Now, box art still in the old style, the old SH Figure Watch style. Next is that we have the product pictures here. Now take note that the version I got is the 20 kicks version, which is the 20th anniversary version, wherein it's, well, it's the 20 kicks version. So it's not gonna come out. It's not gonna come with a lot of accessories. So out of the box, this is what it looks like. This is what Kamen Rider Zi-O looks like. Honestly, it's very basic. It's very basic. It's very similar to Kamen Rider Build, even if it's not a 20 kicks version. If you can see, I actually brought Kamen Rider Build with me here so that you can see they're very basic. It's just the main figure and three pairs of hands and an extra right hand. So let's open him up. So now we have Kamen Rider Zi-O. As you can see, his color scheme is pretty simple. It's black, a little bit of purple, and some metallic red. His device is like a time device thing, and the thing with this time device thing is it rotates, just similar to I think to Wizard. It rotates. It rotates, and you have a lot more of those switches with him. And we can put two switches in either hand, and you can replace those switches here as well. This is the first form. Honestly, I also found his final form a bit weird because it's all in gold in the different times. I guess it's very similar to, if you remember, Kamen Rider Decade, where he keeps on jumping on other places. Very similar to this. The aesthetic is good. The figure articulation is very nice because there's not much gimmicks on the suit, so he gets to move a lot better. Posability, okay, as a figure wise, it's great, right? It's a very simple yet very cool design. The suit, the figures itself is matte. It offers very good articulation. Well, it always does, but it doesn't. The gimmicks doesn't hamper or doesn't affect the articulation of the figure. Paint application, always amazing. always detailing. The two antennas, be careful of this will snap. And the little switches. Now for the hands, well, it's just the basic hands. It's still the basic hands. Nothing really, nothing really too special about it. It's a basic figure. But if you really wish to collect all Heisei, well, you gotta have this one. I find in its simplicity. It does have its appeal in its simplicity and its general appeal. It's a Kamen Rider. It's not goofy. It's not like X8 who's too goofy, whose appeal is too goofy. But it's just he's got that thing that he is too alike that you don't really find anything too special with him. Even if you put them together with build, there's like, see, they are different in a sense of their colorways and then their general design, but they're still alike. That's why I always equate Zi-O with build. For some reason, I always equate Zi-O with build, and not that they're saying that they're bad figures. Perfectly great, perfectly nice figures. Posability is always good. This is very simple, a very simple looking figure. Solid. It's solid. But if you really like Kamen Rider and if you would like to complete it, like what I did with Phase 2, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. And it's a nice figure. The story wise, I can't really say much about the story since I never got to. I only see him popping up in different movies. But figure wise, as a character, it's good. He's okay, solid. But if you wish to see the other more popular ones, it's fine. But the figure itself is nice. There's different. The thing with the eyes. The eye thing, it's not the normal Kamen Rider which is just full solid colors. He does have designs in the eyes, which is also different. His right side and left side is also is different. So it does add a little bit variety to the figure. But then again, as a figure, it's solid. You can say nothing really pops. But then again, the figure itself is still solid, and it's a great send off. It's a great send off for the Heisei era, and this is also the era that I really got into. But then again, it took a while, guys. It took a while. Thank you for taking the journey with me of being able to letting me share my Kamen Riders from the Heisei Phase 2 era. Well, basically the Heisei era, since I collected. I also have other guys like Den-O, who was part of the Heisei Phase 1. And I guess but I did complete the Phase 2 because that was when I really got into watching a lot more of them. Well, it's 10 years worth. It's 10 years worth and a lot of figures and a lot of characters worth of Kamen Rider. And thank you for sharing the journey with me. Now, we're not done with Kamen Rider yet. I still have the next up is we're gonna be talking about their web series, Kamen Rider Amazons. Not to be different, not to be confused with Amazon, but it's a similar thing. I guess it's a reboot. It's a bit weird, to be honest. I have two of those figures, Omega with the Junglider and Omega, the robot Omega style one, and I also I've added another character to my Reiwa era figures, which is Kamen Rider 01. I do have Kamen Rider 01 and Vulcan. So we still have a lot more Kamen Rider to discuss, and thank you for taking the journey with me. And honestly, on a figure basis, if you're a fan of Zi-O, of course you gotta get him. But if you feel that the aesthetics looks a little bit more plain, well, yes, it is, but it's very solid. You can really pose him very well with this because none of the gimmicks impede movement. And with regards to the figure, well, it's basic, right? That's the trend that I'm getting right now with regards to the figures, they try to make to keep the main figures basic, which I really hate. If you just collect the main figures, but then again, it's a very good figure. It's very nicely made figure. So, guys, if you check it out, actually still have a lot of these out. For some reason, they do have a lot of these figures still out, and please don't hesitate to check them out. It's a solid figure. I'm just not. I just did not get into the series that much. But then again, it's a solid figure. Always solid anyway. So again, thank you very much for taking the Heisei Phase 2 journey with me, and we even have a special guest. Thank you for sharing for staying with me for the Heisei Phase 2 journey. Now we're gonna be moving on to two more phases, to the web series phase for Kamen Rider Amazon, and for our Kamen Rider 01 series. So we've got added more, we got a lot more figures, and thank you very much for taking the time to let me share my figures, and have a great day, guys.